For all the rhetoric about tax cuts for the rich, what has been lost in the argument in Washington is the extra cost for the average payer. Unless Congress acts, millions of people will find themselves paying more come January 1st, sometimes several $1,000s more.
Well, it's not all for the rich. It also affects the small guy, too.
Accountant Sharon Cassier says everyone who files an income tax return will pay unless Congress acts.
Married couple making $35,000 a year. Is this a case of I get a refund now but not then, or what happens?
2011, the way the law is now, you would not get a refund. If you make $35,000, you have 2 kids, and you have earned income credit, most of the earned income credit goes away.
So what's my hit?
Your hit is, the difference between is about $2,500 compared to what you would have gotten the prior year.
In the example Cassier worked up for us, that couple earning $35,000 a year would get a refund for this year's taxes of about $2,000. But for the 2011 taxes, they would owe over $500.
Let's go to people who are better off but not filthy rich, either $100,000 or $125,000. What are they looking at?
If we have a $100,000 couple has 2 children, the income tax in the new law for 2011 is almost $14,000.
Here are the numbers, each of these for a couple with 2 children filing jointly. At $75,000 income, the tax goes up $1,900. For a $100,000 family of 4, a nearly $3,800 hit. At $125,000, $4,500.
On the one hand, it seems politically that they almost have to do something, but the point is, if they don't do something, you got a lot of people on this board here who are going to get whacked.
Which are not expecting it.
Married taxpayers could take an extra hit. The standard deduction for couples was double that for single taxpayers. That also phases out January 1st.
Millions of people could also be hit by the alternative minimum tax. That was created a couple decades ago to ensure that the upper income people didn't avoid paying any tax at all. But it has to be adjusted for inflation. Otherwise, it kicks in at about $45,000 income. That's happened every year that they've made that switch, but it hasn't happened yet.
So when will we know all this?
Well, that's what this big debate, when you keep hearing Pelosi and Boehner talk about, the Republican and Democratic leaders talking about we'll have a vote on rich or cuts or middle class cuts and all the rest. There's a push, including from some moderate Democrats, to get a vote before the elections. One day it looks like it'll be a tax cut for everybody. That's where, all the fire has been on the tax cut for the rich. But what's been lost in the debate is you got millions of other people, most people, who are affected by this in these other ways.
Right. You saw the $35,000 a year
and,
couple. That's crazy.
And the thing about the numbers is it all it's how much you're itemized and all of these other things. So these are just examples.
All right, John. Well, the frustrating